Welcome to a new edition of Collecting Small Diecast Land Rovers, and in this week's episode we're going to be taking a look at a familiar livery from Carrarama. Now, the Fire Brigade livery on the Series 3 soft top, we're quite familiar with that because if you've been following the videos, we spent a long time looking at the 1/72nd scale models produced by the company, and this was one of their more popular models. These crop up all over the place, but it's one of the liveries that's transitioned over into the 1/43rd release, and we're quite spoilt in this one because we've got 4 different distinct versions of it. So we'll kick off with the first one, and we'll find out what it's all about. As we found with the other liveries that have been produced in this scale, the very early releases seem to feature 4 mirrors, 2 on the wings and 2 on the doors. And how long it stayed like that we don't know, because the next one we're going to move on to, the mirrors on the wings have disappeared. So obviously there's been a change to the casting, and we're assuming that's the order that these came in. They tended to take away details rather than add to them as the production run went on. So let's we'll set the turntable going so you can just have a look around it and see what the general livery is on this version. Now, the benefit with the 1/43rd scale models is that you get opening doors, and which they don't open a great deal, as we've mentioned on the other ones, but at least they are present. The other feature you get on these is the steering operates and pause it into various degrees of turn, as it were. This lasted for a while on these models, but then as the production life progressed, they seemed to do away with certain features, and unfortunately steering was one of them that went. The number plate on them is the GPX version of the number plate. Not seen any with the alternative WXX. The nice thing on these is you've got the clear rear window, which we found on the smaller scale that disappeared over the production run. So this model is the most detailed. It features the interior view mirror just mounted to the top of the windscreen for the driver, and you've got your wing mirrors all silvered out, which is a quite nice touch. We mentioned before that the vent panel doesn't change on these, not that we've noticed anyway, and the nice designed wheels with the slots in them. Other than that, the models are pretty standard. Red doesn't appear to have changed a great deal in them that we can see, which we saw in a previous Fire Brigade search and rescue model. The red did change over time, but it appears to have been fairly standard on these. We'll have a look at the base. The base is pretty plain underneath. It's a pity none of the 1/43rd ones seem to have featured the silver painted axles and exhaust we saw on the very early incarnation of the 1/72nd scale models. The steering, which is produced towards the front, this arrangement, a little bit crude, but it worked, so that's fine. And the wording is just basically there's a H for the Hongwell and just the Land Rover details printed alongside. Note this still retains the option that we saw on the Search and Rescue Fire Brigade model, where a tow bar could be fitted, but it hasn't been deployed on this one. So that's the first of the Fire Brigade models, and probably the best model of them all, i.e. most detailed. So we'll move on to the next one. So this is the second version, and the only real difference that we can see is that we've lost the mirrors off the front wings. As I said when we first started looking at these 143rd from Carrarama, the ones with the 4 mirrors, I did some research, and there seemed to be pictures of Land Rovers which mainly seem to go abroad, i.e. out of the UK, had 4 mirrors on. Whether after a while they thought, well, this isn't the common configuration for them, and decided to do away with the extra mirrors, and at the end of the day that would give them a slight cost saving advantage. So probably that's the route Carrarama or Hongwell chose to take. But the rest of the model's the same, so we'll just set her going so you can have a look. So all the details are the same. We've still got the clear mirror, the same registration, the opening doors. If anything, these doors seem to want to open a little bit further. Detail around the front's the same. Even the interior mirror has been retained for the driver. So exactly the same wording on the side of the vehicle. The crest is the same, so there's no difference other than we've got no mirrors on the bonnet. So then we'll move on to the third version. Now the third version comes in this box. It's the early Carrarama box, which was quite common with these models. Not a lot to say about the box. I think we just didn't even carry the details of the model inside, other than there was a sticker down at the bottom there. But it was just one box fits all, basically. So we'll get it unpacked and we can take a look. Now this is the third version, and the thing that's screaming out to everybody, I'm quite sure, is the fact that we've lost the red wheels. They've gone over to silver wheels. This we were talking about previously on the first video in this series, and obviously if you've got to have different coloured wheels in stock for different models, then it's just an extra hassle when you come to do production runs. But if all your models have silver wheels, then you just keep one set of wheels right across the range. Simplifies things. The other thing to notice is that we've still got the rear window, the same registration, opening doors and mirrors. So no change other than we've had a change of wheel colour. And if we have a look at the bottom, so the underneath is exactly the same. We've had no changes whatsoever, and we've still got the steering, which is nice to see. So only minor changes over the production run of these. As to when in the life of the model these changes took place, there's no information to be found. We can't pin anything down. It would be nice if we could say, oh yeah, from 1900 and frozen to death to whatever, it was a certain style of wheels, or from this date on it became this. It just gives you a bit more information, a bit more background, but there's just nothing to be had. Don't even know if these were made in one factory or a multitude of factories, which may account for the differences in the production over the years. But again, there's just nothing to be had on these. Right, we'll go to the fourth, and this is where things change. Now, this is the fourth version of this model, and it's in the current box that you can get direct from Oxford or retail outlets. It's got their Oxford branding on now, and a lot of their products come in this black box arrangement. And if we go around to the other side, they have started to adopt the practice of giving you some description when on the back of their boxes. So Oxford style, it gives you a code number, and then you've got Land Rover Series 3 109 soft top red fire brigade, and of course the name of the importer in Germany in this case, but Oxford is a British company. Right, we'll get her unboxed and we'll see what's changed. So it's nice to see on this one that we've retained almost everything. Same wheels, same opening doors, that's quite nice. Same registration number, but oh dear, we've lost the clear rear window. This is something they did on the smaller models, and it does spoil them. Obviously, it's simplified production, but yeah, unfortunately, it's spoiled a model. But on the upside, it's given us a variation to collect. So this is one that you could put in your fire brigade collection, and the changes don't just stop there. We've also lost the interior mirror, if you can just spot that as it goes round. So they've changed the moulding, or the however that was added. They've changed that. So the wheels still look pretty nice and crisp, which is nice to see, and the front end's also nice and crisp. But let's have a look at the bottom, and I've got a feeling there's going to be no steering. Yes, it would appear I was right. We can see a pattern developing on these now. The later Oxford releases have all got no branding on the bottom. There's no hung well or anything of that that sort of information, and also we've lost the steering, which it's nice to have the steering, but it does look it looks tidier at the front end. You haven't got the great big pivot points, which were a bit oversized on the previous models. So yeah, this is something that they've obviously decided to do. It's got to be down to cost, and I suppose we're lucky that they're still producing these models after all these years. If you want one of them, it's up to you. You pays your money and you takes your choice. Or you could always get all three, all four. Can't count. Yeah, it's got to appeal to fire brigade collectors. These, you can line them all up, and they do look different to one another. It would have been nice to have had different registration numbers on them, but as we've seen, the Carrarama ones, either the GPX or the WXX registration numbers. Could be a licensing thing that we're probably restricted to only using them. Who knows? Right, we'll set them all up, and we'll do a roundup. So there you have all four. Very first one, followed by the second release, third, and then the fourth. As we're going through, I've been really looking. Now that I've spotted that there's four of these, I'm going to be going back over some of the other ones we've looked at, the AA one and that, and just see if that's had a similar journey. It's rather strange. Why just this one and not some of the others? So maybe they're very scarce. So we'll just quickly recap. We've got steering, 4 wing mirrors, interior mirror, red wheels, and the second version features the steering, the red wheels, only 2 mirrors and an interior mirror. And then I don't know if I mentioned when we were looking at the third one, it's lost the interior mirror. So this one has steering, 2 mirrors, and no interior mirror. And we've got the clear rear window. And then the final version, up to making this video, has no steering, no interior mirror, and a painted rear window. So yeah, it'd be nice if all the others went through a similar sort of a transition, so you could have 4. I don't think it's going to be the case, but who knows? We had this with the 1/72nd. We originally started, if you've watched, we did a 21-part series on the 1/72nd Land Rovers from Carorama, and when we initially started we thought there was about 3 different changes right across the range, and we ended up with a handful of changes over the years. Some models run into 6, 7 versions, and we still keep finding the odd new one that we didn't even know existed. So perhaps these are going to go down the same route, but deeper we delve into them, more we'll spot things. There could be you people out there who have spotted something that I haven't. If so, give us a shout. Or if you've got one, say, hey, man's got this on. That'd be great. The best place to put any comments like that is either at the bottom of this video in the comments section or on the Facebook group. You're quite welcome to post. Anybody can post on there. I keep a close eye on it, so anything not appropriate we will remove, but I've only had to do it once. So yeah, feel free. And while we're on the subject of the Facebook group, etc., a very warm welcome to all the people who've taken the trouble to subscribe or join the group. It is growing. It's growing quite quickly now, and it's nice that people are appreciating what we're doing. Also, the views on the videos are going up and up. That's nice. If anybody can think of any ways to improve them, just drop a line. If there's anything you'd like me to take a look at or answer questions on, if I can, I will. If I can't, I'll try and find out for you. But right, so there we have the Fire Brigade 143rd Carorama models, 4 to choose from. And when we do another one on this series, I think we might be taking a look at the Army Red Cross ambulance in light brown, because there's been 1 or 2 changes over the production run of that one. I'm just not quite convinced I've got all of them. I keep looking, but we can take a look at it and we can always update it later on. So Hope you're enjoying your collecting, and we'll see you again in the next one. So until then, happy collecting.